Put it in the chat. Does Steve look like an Italian mob boss or not? If you're watching this after we're live, put it in the comments. Does Steve look like an Italian mob boss?
All right, before we get started, I have a complaint. Who is our HR department? Is what I would like to know. Is Tanner HR?
What?
I want to
What's
report
about to happen?
I'm HR.
No,
HR.
you are definitely not HR. So I would like.
If I was HR, what is your complaint?
Age discrimination.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that for sure.
Let me.
The guy won't even send me an email.
No, let me explain. Let me explain it. Okay.
I'll explain.
No, I will explain it. You're too old to explain it. I'm feeding into the age.
Age discrimination. We need
You're
HR
too old to explain it.
So first of all, there was no age discrimination, but let me explain what happened.
Bullshit.
So, to do this podcast, we have first of all, Tevis is not. I don't even know where Tevis is, but to do this podcast, we need to all connect on StreamYard. Correct, Tanner? StreamYard.
Yeah.
So there's a universal link I send to everyone to get on the podcast. Right? Really simple.
Go on.
Which he drops into a group chat.
It is very easy for me to send it via X, the thing Elon bought for $44 billion. He has made it easier for me to communicate with my compadres on the podcast. I text Steve an hour ago, and I said, Steve, I texted you the link. Steve's like,
you did no, hold on. Texting would mean you sent it through text message.
I texted you that I sent you the link on Twitter.
Okay.
Steve's like, email me.
Yes.
I'm like, Steve, why do I need to email you, go through fucking Gmail just to send you? It's on Twitter. Just open it on Twitter. It's like so easy. Just open something on Twitter. He goes, I don't have Twitter on my computer.
Exactly. Why would I?
I go, this is a very simple thing to solve. It is twitter.com. You type it in your browser. It could be any browser. It's browser agnostic. And you go into the company's website, and then boom, you have the link.
But
you do look like a mob boss. You really do.
I do not.
You really do.
Have my password. I don't know what my password is. It's on my phone on the X app. And why would I have it on my computer? I don't use Twitter on my computer. I use it on my freaking phone.
You see how Tanner's face just you saw how ridiculous that sounds? Tanner's face
it is.
First of all, this is not age discrimination, so I don't know why you brought that
age
up.
Discrimination.
I would say the same thing to Tanner if he forced me to email it every single time. I'd be like, yo, Tanner, just like open it on Twitter.
You have everybody's email address. Just email it to everybody.
No. The broader question is, why can't you take 2 seconds out of your day, press forgot password, come up with a new password that you don't forget, and then
because
boom,
then I gotta change it on my phone and it's hooked up to my tablet. I have Twitter on the mobile devices, not the workstation.
You know what really got me upset about this? Every time Steven writes an article on Seeking Alpha, you know what he says? He says, Amit, hit me with a retweet. I'm like, bet. I love you. You're one of my brothers. Of course. I want to spread knowledge. So he loves using Twitter as a distribution mechanism. But when I need to distribute the fucking link to you, I don't have a password. I don't even
know. On my phone. I don't know my Twitter password.
People are not happy right now. They're like, it's 10 p.m. It's time to start talking about SoFi.
And you know what's the worst part about this? Steve, if he just focused a little bit posting on Twitter, just like a couple tweets a day, he would be growing like crazy because his Seeking Alpha articles do numbers. But he refuses to grow on Twitter. He wants to use it for traffic for his articles, but then won't know the fucking password to his phone.
I don't know the password.
Isn't he supposed to be opening a YouTube channel anytime soon?
How are you going to open a YouTube channel, Steve, if you can't open up a Twitter account? You realize YouTube is on the desktop too, right?
Because YouTube is tied to my Gmail account.
Okay, tonight after the podcast, I will stick with you on live after Palantir Weekly, and we will so that I can log in and tweet different things that I want to
see. He stole. The gods don't want this to occur. Let's just move on.
It's true.
This wasn't age discrimination, though. I don't know where you got that
age discrimination.
How I never even mentioned your age. That had nothing to do with it.
I mean, talking about age discrimination, you said he wouldn't understand because he's old.
Well, that was a joke because he went that direction, but there's nothing for age about it. All right, Tanner, introduce the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SoFi Weekly podcast. Today, I have 3 very special guests with me. Above, I have Amit. To my to my right, I guess, would be on camera, is the Grand Tevis, and over there is the great Steven Fiorillo. You can't just call him Steve. You have to say his full name. It's Steven Fiorillo. So
that even sounds like a mob boss name.
Yeah, totally. He's the Pokemon Mafia for sure.
Wait till you see what I bought. I'll have it next week for the stream.
Got you. Steven, did you see what I bought, brother? Look at this.
Tanner bought a house.
Not your Pokemon cards.
Steven's
Right?
cards are worth more.
I am very proud of you buying an appreciating asset. I'm very proud.
Thank you. I got a video to share with you guys. Amit, this is Dan Dolev. Okay, he is one of the analysts for a lot of fintech companies, and during I guess one of these online talk shows, that he was ranking all of his top companies that he does coverage on. I know it's kind of small, but what you can see there on the list so far that he's building out, we'll go over the full list later on, but just to see here, at number 1, he has Affirm. Number 2 is Robinhood. There you go, Amit. Number 3 is SoFi Technologies. And this is what he had to say.
He has retirement. I would say SoFi is one of the most disappointing IPO. I know it was a SPAC, but we'll call it an IPO of the post-COVID era, just because of how great the reputation was and the brand. The stock just has not matched the expectations, probably more than any other stock that's up here. What's going to turn that around?
Student loan refinancing.
Okay.
So I've actually done work. I've done a deep dive. There's $16 trillion of student loan refinancing.
I don't know why it's lagging so much, but there's not $16 trillion. There's $1.6 trillion. Just a little misstep there. So, but anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. There's not $16 trillion.
Financing that are up for grabs. SoFi could address about 25% of that. And that's a huge number, right? So you're talking about, hundreds of billions of potential.
What's your target, SoFi?
$20.
Not end of year, just ultimate target.
Ultimate target.
Okay, 20. So, you think it could be worth 20?
But here's been my question about SoFi, which is it's essentially a bank, right? I know they have technology sales as well.
I don't know why it's lagging so much. Anyway, it pretty much ends there. He doesn't really say anything. They kind of just cut him off and continue to go on about the other positions. That being said, though, what does he mean, by the way? His ultimate price target for SoFi, not end of year, but ultimate price target is $20 a share.
It could have meant next year. You can't really speculate on that.
But they asked him. I don't know. Could just be trail or total 12 months. But what do you guys think?
Maybe this just shows how mainstream media is not as excited about the stock as we are, which is good. Because it didn't seem like he was overly bullish. Putting Robinhood ahead of SoFi means the guy has no fucking clue what he's talking about, to be honest. And I love Robinhood, but that was weird. Like, I get it from the valuation. Maybe Robinhood's more attractive, but long term, Robinhood is a better fintech than SoFi.
So most analysts do 12-month price targets anyway. So that's at least what I'm assuming he's talking about is for the next 12 months. What will this stock's how will they actually perform?
I think SoFi is an easier double than Robinhood in the next year.
Maybe. I don't know. I actually am a big fan of Dan Dolev. I like a lot of the things that he says. However, I find that he's just so overly optimistic about Affirm, and I couldn't care less about that company. But anyway.
I think when a lot of these people say that they do a lot of work on it, I don't really know what that means. I mean, we cover every angle from it.
They just read your articles, dude.
And I don't know
basically
if they're looking at the banking side, the AWS of fintech, if they're just focused on student loans, gap profitability in Q4. I mean, there's so many angles that you need one of these analysts to come on and do a 15, 20, 25-minute talk somewhere, because talking about SoFi for a minute on CNBC or Bloomberg, you can't get enough from it. It doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Look, if you ever want to know how BS some of these segments on CNBC or Yahoo Finance or any mainstream finance media, just go back into YouTube and look at how they were talking about certain stocks last year, 2 years, 3 years ago. And what you'll find more often than not is stuff that goes up, they get more and more and more and more bullish on the way up. And if it goes down, they get more and more and more bearish on the way down. And it's just the complete opposite of what you would expect. You know, there's been a lot of people on CNBC that I was seeing where they were like, you know, super bullish on companies like Roku or Coinbase when they're at 300, you know, 400, whatever. And then they're super bearish now when it's at like $60, even though the underlying company has been growing in SoFi's case and in a lot of the cases. And so it is more, in my mind, entertainment than it is like educational, because they want the clickbaits, they want the views, they want the shares, they want the retweets, and they want the sort of hot takes. And that's not really conducive with a long-term mindset. The fact that these people, like, they lose credibility. I mean, Josh Brown, for one, he's completely lost credibility in my mind, as well as that, you know, the other one, I forget his name, Steve LeBeau, Phil LeBeau. Pretty much everybody on CNBC to some extent, because they just have takes that are not based on any company fundamentals, that are not based on any company execution. And they have access to these executives, and the executives come on and they talk about the underlying catalysts for their company. And meanwhile, like even Dan Dolev, who is bullish on SoFi, you know, his main thing is like, well, student loan refinancing. It's like, yeah, well, we know that, but look at all of the other, you know, diversity of product lines and the diversity of execution across those product lines for the entire time that student loans was inactive. Like, that should merit some, you know, reward or highlight on these platforms when you're talking about it. So even like Dan Dolev, who like we like and is bullish and has good price targets and sort of understands, when he says, oh, I've done a lot of digging, and then comes out and says, well, student loan is a huge, you know, market. Well, it's like, well, yeah, we knew that. You know, like what is the thing that you know that other people reading the one pager wouldn't know?
I mean, I don't think we give him enough credit. I don't think he's spilling or showing all of his cards. But whenever I think that, you know, Mizuho is doing, you know, deep dives, I'm sure they have a multi-page thesis, probably 20 plus pages long, and they're trying to give something on a 5-minute segment that they have on a show. It's hard to summarize, right? Like, they went through, like you saw in that 5-minute, 10-minute segment or whatever, like 20 of his positions. It gives no room to give any sort of credibility at all. Like, they were talking about Upstart, and Upstart's such a complex business, and the guy said, well, that's an SEO business, right? And then he said, no, it's actually AI. And then they moved on. And that was the segment for Upstart. And I was like, okay, well, that's summed up, you know? But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, the one person that is actually super bullish is Cramer.
Yikes.
I mean, he practically had a meltdown after earnings.
Yeah, he's good friends with Noto, though, right? He's been sort of bullish on SoFi for a while.
Yeah,
He called Noto on air asking him why he wasn't coming on Squawk and why he was going on Tech Chat. He threw a fit. I wish I could find the clip. He threw an absolute fit at what was going on with the share price after earnings.
Well, I mean, so Noto came on. I remember this when the $3 price target or the $2.50 price target came out back in May. Immediately the next week, I mean, we talked about it on SoFi Weekly on that Friday, and then like the next Monday or Tuesday, Noto did two appearances. One was on CNBC with Cramer. They were sitting outside, and he basically broke down that entire bear case. And then the second one was like a fireside chat at some investor conference, and he broke it down again. So to me, what that signaled is that like he always has Cramer as a platform in his back pocket. And if anything comes out that's like overly bearish or whatnot, and if he doesn't address it on Twitter, then he can always jump onto you know, a segment, a 1 hour thing with Cramer and clear it out, which is an asset to have.
Sure.
Too many people give Cramer a hard time. The guy has the most interviews with CEOs and the best interviews with CEOs from any of these people on Bloomberg or CNBC.
He did say Theranos was going to be a game-changing company.
Look, you can't get everything right.
He did say Coinbase was going to go to 450.
Dude, Coinbase had some great fundamentals in the beginning.
All right.
But you mean
You make
Bitcoin
that
was
face.
at 70,000? That was the fundamental?
You make that face, but look at Coinbase's free cash flow and actual metrics from last year or the year
None
before.
of that matters. The only thing that matters is Bitcoin. You know this.
Trading volume. It's not Bitcoin. It's
Look, I
trading.
get it. Kramer's a TV personality. I don't expect him to be right about. I don't expect us to be right about stuff. But
I
he
think-
does this for a living, right? But
I think by saying that, and like no disrespect to Cramer, I just think that he's been in the game for like way too long. He's like, one of those people that might have once been at the top, but then it's like 20 years go by and you're just sort of, I don't want to say washed up because it sounds so bad, but like washed up. And Stephen, I think your comment is interesting, right? To say like, you got to give Cramer credit because he gets good interviews out of these people. I think that's saying more out of the lack of the other CNBC, talking heads than it is like praise to Cramer. Granted, there's
bro, if you gave me mad money, I would have the best interviews on the planet with CEOs. So it's not. It's Kramer just has his show. That's the only reason he gets the interviews. It's not because Kramer's Cramer.
Outside of Kramer's Mad Money, some of the best interviews are with Barry Sternlich on Squawk in the morning at like 6 a.m. or 6:30 in the morning.
Wait, Barry's
Whenever he goes on.
I think I know that guy. Okay.
Barry Sternlich, he is one of the top CEOs, in my opinion. Chairman and CEO of Starwood Property Trust.
Okay.
Guy's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think they do have some like good, some good hosts. I mean, Melissa Lee, I like listening to her. Sarah, whatever her name is, the one who always interviews Warren Buffett. I think he likes her.
That's Becky Quick, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. So
wait, did you say Sharon?
I said Sarah. There's another one that's called Sarah.
It's Becky, right? Becky Quick.
No, but like there's another CNBC one. I forget.
Okay, so if you guys had to rank your top 3 fintechs right now, how would you guys rank them? Let me read Let me read the list for everybody that was in there. The list was.
Can you share it?
Yeah, but let me read it real quick. I'll share it.
What time frame? Yes.
I mean, I'm old. I'm not going to remember.
Okay, I'll pull it up. But while I'm pulling it up, we have Affirm, Robinhood, SoFi, Toast, PayPal. By the way, we got to talk about PayPal today. Ticker symbol FI. I don't know what that is. ADP, 4, Square, MasterCard, FIS, MQ. That's Marqeta, WEX, FLT, Visa, Upstart, Coinbase.
Ticker symbol FI might be the largest name out of all the names that you said there.
Yeah. It's actually my company, Fundamentals of Investing.
Yeah, it's Fiserv.
Pfizer?
Fiserv.
Oh,
they do all like the terminals and stuff at McDonald's and a whole, but they're the original payment processor for terminals for white label stuff. Anyway,
top 3.
So mine might not be on this list. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Nubank.
Yeah, it would be SoFi, Nubank, PayPal right now.
Good. That can take
in that order. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve.
It's difficult. Very difficult.
Is it difficult because you're old, or is it?
No, it's difficult because as much as I want to say SoFi is my number 1, we could have a new one.
Like what?
PayPal?
All right, so long term, I'm going to do it 2 ways. Long term is SoFi, PayPal, and then I don't really have another one that I follow, so I'll just do top 2. In the short term, and I don't know why ADP is on here as a fintech. They are a payroll company, and they have an HRIS system. Not necessarily a fintech, but anyway. In the short term, I think PayPal has a tremendous amount of upward potential. So I would say leave it at that. The long-term SoFi is, out of all these, my top.
So what are your 3?
I don't have 3. SoFi and PayPal. I don't follow any of these other companies.
Okay.
You don't have another fintech that you like?
I'm sure there's great fintechs out there. I don't follow any, so I can't make a.
Okay.
You know how you're being. All you have to do is pick 3, and you're being as complicated as you were for not logging onto Twitter on your desktop. That's what you're doing right now. Like, this is content. This is show business. I said pick 3, And you're like, well, I don't follow any. You're a content creator. You make Seeking Alpha articles. You can't pick one more stock out of all of these.
Not if I don't know anything about the companies. Fine, Robinhood, because I know something about them.
Okay, there you go. That's all you had to do.
There you
It's
go.
very simple. Okay, there we go. Tavis, what do you got?
Yeah, obviously SoFi, and then PayPal is the one that I know most out of them, and then probably third. Honestly, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, so probably Coinbase. And if not Coinbase, then probably like Visa.
Those were Dan Dolev's 2 lowest.
Yeah.
Just goes to show how much he knows, I guess.
Or maybe it shows you're not
Yeah.
that smart.
Maybe I'm just a Neanderthal. So,
Amit, did you give yours?
I would go Hood, SoFi, and then MasterCard.
In that order?
No, SoFi, Hood, MasterCard.
Okay. I'd love to pivot the conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
There was some fun news, and I thought maybe we could fight over this. New SoFi job openings.
for insurance,
Director of Insurance.
yeah,
Who has the police
for the-
behind them?
me.
Sorry?
Oh, you have the police? Okay, go ahead, Tanner.
No, I was just going to say, for SoFi Protect, they're looking for a director of insurance to help build out the next scaled business line within SoFi. And, potentially managing an insurance agency or holding insurance licenses is a plus. Okay. They even say here they want to develop a roadmap for new partners and offering to scale SoFi Protect overall. I said on my live stream that Stephen Fiorillo should apply for this job.
I'm not what they're looking for. I do corporate insurance, workman's comp, EPLI, commercial package. I'm on the business side. I don't do personal. I can tell you what I think about what they're going to do if you want.
Yeah, they're looking for someone to help build out their life and PNC, property and casualty.
I didn't even look at it, and I can tell you that what they're probably going to do is offer a complete suite of packages with annuities, life insurance, and all those types of lines to really create a 360-degree. It's very smart, and I hope they do it because it is just another sticky asset to their ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the underlying question, if we just go beneath surface level, is how are they going to build it out? Is it something where they're going to try, small pilot programs and try to build it out in-house? Or are they just going to try to have some type of M&A strategy, maybe that comes to fruition in the end of 2024? Or maybe it's a company that they're eyeing up, something small, like they did with Wyndham Capital, right? Under 100 million for that purchase. So I think that's the main thing is like, okay, what are they going to come out with first? Because this posting to me just signals that they're looking at insurance right now as their next profit center, as their next lever. How are they going to do it? And what are they going to start with?
And Tanner, being in the industry, you know how big annuities are. Now, whether you agree with annuities as part of your retirement structure or not, there is a large market for it. And being in that business does boost a wealth management product and an asset management arm. It's a very good strategic move if they have that as part of their overall offerings.
I mean, truthfully, to be very honest with you, it's a massive product for the company that I work with. I have never, ever sold one. There's just no one cares about them and no one wants to get it done, especially in this environment. But
a lot of people like annuities, though. Like you said, it's a huge product. May not be for me, it may not be for other people, but there's a huge market for it. A lot of people like that safety from annuitizing assets.
Yeah. I wanted to just share my screen one more time. This just popped up on my feed.
I just quote tweeted that.
Did you?
I did.
That's too funny.
Like, I don't know what people are doing if they're not on SoFi Weekly.
Yeah, Amit doesn't even have to be doing the SoFi Weekly to reject all these things anyway. So
They just
that was mean for no reason.
Oh, bro. Oh my God. He's sensitive now. He's sensitive.
No, I'm like Steve now. I'm getting sensitive about all these issues.
I love both of you, but I'm going to take my shots from time to time. Okay.
Okay. What's the next topic we got?
No, well, so I wanted to stay on the insurance thing really quick because I'm not excited, but I'm like, how great can SoFi's execution be to be delivering on the expansion of Latin America, getting into small to medium-sized business banking, expanding into the insurance game, all while growing all their existing product lines. I'm going to have to probably call their bluff. I don't think that goes off with extreme growth rates in all categories. That seems like next to an impossibility.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing that I'm sort of concerned about is yes to all those things. It's not an if, it's a when, because the risk is always spreading yourself too thin too soon. And if you do all of them at the same time, you're going to do a shit job at all of them, basically. And so the idea is once they get solid footing on, SoFi Bank, then they can move on to improvements onto SoFi Invest or SoFi Money. Once they get solid footing onto that, then they can do mortgages with Wyndham, so on and so forth. And then once they really nail that down, so it's sustainable growth that's predictable over time and it doesn't fluctuate wildly, it's not really volatile, then they can sort of go on to the next thing. And so for me, yes, we see a posting for director, but in my experience, director roles usually take months to fill out. You want good people for that role. You don't want just an average Joe off the street. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get that role filled until the end of the year or something towards that effect. And really, this is just forward planning for 2024. We probably won't see anything material changing until, I mean, if I had to ballpark it, I would say halfway through the year 2024, just because it takes time to build a strategy that's sustainable for a multi-billion-dollar company and to actually have something with contingencies in place as to how you're going to capture market share.
And if you go back to Noto's interview or speech at Stanford from 5-6 years ago, I haven't listened to it in a couple months, but I believe he did bring up that they could be working on 20 things at one time, but only have to deliver on 3 or 5 critical success factors at a time. So this could be on the roadmap, but it may not be for several quarters or even a year or two to build out. Just that it's in the pipeline is interesting just to see where their head's at, because you're not allocating resources toward this or even looking to hire qualified people that are licensed to do this if you're not envisioning building out some type of wealth management product, because they're not getting in. There's no way that they're going to get into corporate insurance. That's just not what they do. I don't see that happening. It's not saying they can't do it, but that's not what that would be very outside of what their comfort level is, and it doesn't fit with their ecosystem. Everything's going to be on the personalized side. And if they're not doing a wealth management arm and assets under management, it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Especially think about if they do business banking and they get into payroll, they're going to want to be able to offer life with that also. It makes sense.
Yeah. So I do agree, the idea that this is all a year away. I also think Latin America will probably be a year from now. Small business, I don't think this is going to happen in 2023 or even early 2024. But it's a lot. They have massive expectations, which I'm going to assume is good. But even Tevis brought up, they're also just expanding home loans right now. Quite drastically right now. Student loans are about to come online. The tech platform's expanding. Everything is sort of going off all at once. And then to be like, well, why don't we start, prepping the insurance market as well and doing all these things? It's the execution seems immaculate if it happens correctly.
What market exactly are they going after with this job role? What are you speculating they're going after with this?
Life insurance, property, and casualties.
And so they would be trying to sell people life insurance. That's the business they're getting into.
I'm going to assume they're going to play the broker role. I don't think that they will want to be the carrier. But I think the broker role is a much better move because you're going to make all the money and hold none of the risk.
They already refer it out right now. So the next step from that is bringing it in-house.
Yeah, and they're going to look probably to compound everything. And it's not just on payroll or anything like that with health and life. It would also be what Tanner just said. When you think about mortgages, sticky environment, get your home insurance through SoFi and have a product for that, or have an affiliate in-house where they sub it out to a larger player, but you still go through SoFi. So they're going to look to keep you in that system. And I think it's first come online in property, and then you'll probably see health and annuity. I don't know that they go past those three.
Sure. I wanted to add to Tevis's point, though, about the broker versus carrier thing. I do also think that even without a home loan partner, we were still offering home loans, mortgages, stuff like this at a much, much slower rate. I think that this doesn't necessarily have to be an all new product, just a ramp up in the product. SoFi Protect makes up a very small percentage of their overall income. And I don't know if you can necessarily call yourself a broker if you only broker out to one individual client. So if you're only using Ladder, Gabby, Lemonade for all different products, it's like, I wouldn't necessarily even call that a broker.
Tanner, I mean, you're in the space. What's the highest margin? Like, what's the most profitable type of insurance that they could start with?
Life, right?
Life.
Is it right?
Yeah. I would say. I mean, I don't know what it looks like from like the actual carrier standpoint. I'm not like head office. I'm just a salesman, right? I'm the financial advisor. But life insurance pays, as far as I know, the highest premiums, higher than commercial, higher than PNC, higher than auto, all of them.
The point of life insurance, right, is that when you die, you want to leave something for your family, right?
Yep.
Okay, so basically, if I buy life insurance right now and I have a wife and kids and I die, based on the type of policy I got, they will give money to my wife and kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't off yourself and they can prove it.
And to be honest, that's like even a big misconception too. Most insurance carriers will pay due to self-harm almost always.
So why do people buy life insurance? Because
so then you don't leave expenses to people that you love. Like you don't want burial expenses. You don't want the mortgage to stand around whenever like Steven,
but it's not your problem anymore. You're dead.
Yeah. Those are the clients you can't sell. Like
Steve, do you have life insurance?
Sorry?
Steve,
I have it through my I have it through my company. I don't pay for it on my own.
Okay, let's say you didn't have your job. Would you actively go and try to buy life insurance?
I think it depends.
No, you have to think. You have to think because you were like, I don't care. No. Let me explain.
You don't even let me talk.
In a second, you were like, if I die, why do I care about what my wife has to deal with?
It
Right?
depends on everybody's situation is different. It really depends on what your financial situation is and what your life situation is. I mean,
but why do you care? If you die, everyone else has to deal with. Everyone has to be a big boy here, right? Like,
Look, if you have a wife and 2 little kids, or if you're a female and you have a husband and 2 little kids, there's a good reason. I don't have kids. So, everybody's situation is different. And
those kids got to get a job. They got to start working.
Just look at the comments if you want, like.
I don't care about the comments.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to baseline why people do it, look at the comments, because there are people with kids, with families, with stuff that it seems like a steal, where if it's like, $50 a month or whatever, and then that you don't have to worry about that, just even the stress of worrying about that makes it worth it.
I'm just saying those kids could get a job.
If if you want to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, what's exciting
I'm just
is
saying,
if you
like,
can,
I don't know why it's so complicated. I don't even
No,
understand why there's a whole
life
business
is a
around
very
life insurance.
popular product, and look, for a lot of people, it makes a lot of sense. I think when you get older, you'll have a different view on it.
Bro, I don't think my parents have life insurance, bro. Indians, I don't think they give a fuck about life insurance. If they die, they die. Like they're not thinking about leaving us.
Yeah,
with
but like
insurance.
your parents are gonna like leave you everything. It's not like, I don't know. Anyways, next topic.
just really quick, I just wanted to add on just to try to find a niche for Amit here. I mean, it's if you could find that comment all the way up, his name is Serge. He's got a purple S as a picture.
Life insurance is supposed to be barred against.
So
Yeah.
what this is sort of a thing that is quite exciting is that it's not just death insurance. It's also it can be used as a utility during life. Is that you can borrow against the product. Banks like to use it as collateral, knowing that if you're going to acquire property or something like this, if they can be the beneficiary of your life insurance policy, they're going to like you a lot more.
Sounds like a scam. I'm just saying, this life insurance thing.
It's not because you're paying into it.
It is what I learned as
Tanner sold it before. He knows it's a scam. That's why he's smiling right now.
It is such a big industry. I had no idea how big it was. It's like trillions and trillions of dollars, and that's just the company that I work for. And there's so many.
All right, well, it's good. SoFi's going after it then. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because like if you really think about it, it's the only type of insurance that is an inevitability, right? Like if you get insurance against a flood or a tornado or whatever, like that could never happen, but you're gonna die at some point.
Well, what happens if you're like, you die at 80 and your kids are like 50? Do they get a shit ton of life insurance from you? Dying at 80?
It's something you pay into your life. So if you've been paying into it for years and years and years, then yeah.
You don't get confused because there's different products, but yeah. Like there's term insurance, which most of the times whenever you're 80 will just completely expire. And then there's like whole life, which doesn't matter when you die, you will get paid. But this is not a SoFi Weekly conversation anymore. This is just Tanner sitting down with a couple of guys and being like, okay, these are the products of the life insurance game.
Yeah, can we not talk about insurance anymore, please?
Yeah.
Like ever.
I talk about insurance all day. It's so freaking boring.
Well, why are you in that job then if it's so boring?
Pays money.
Talking about insurance outside of work is boring. Insurance is a necessary evil.
Wait, so during work it's exciting?
On the corporate side, it's much different than talking about whole and term life. I deal with D&O, EPLI, freaking workman's comp, package.
Steve, I think if you quit your job and wrote 5 articles on Seeking Alpha a week, you could probably double your income right now, and you could actually do what you want for fun.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, you don't.
If you use Twitter, maybe you can get some retweets on the article and then really get momentum. And
if you guys knew how much money there is in life insurance, it wouldn't be so freaking boring.
If you go get licensed and you hustle, you can clean the fuck up.
Bro, maybe I should become a life insurance agent. I could sell the shit out of it. This is an easy sell. Like everyone's gonna die.
You'll compete with real estate agents on a per transaction basis. Like it's crazy. It's a really, really good living if you can find some fat clients.
Yeah, and then you want the key to success? Go back, get a finance degree, pass your CPA exam, and then team up with somebody on insurance and just refer all your clients. You'll clean up, or just do both.
Okay, so Tanner,
you can't be the new CNBC Mad Money anchor and sell life insurance on the side. It's not that kind of.
No, why not? You could do both. Why not? Wait, so Tanner, when you're in a conversation for life insurance, do you just like straight up tell people like, "Aren't you gonna die?" Like, do you like have that type of conversation with them?
1 second.
Like one of his clients is calling. Like, oh shit, what did this guy order?
This guy got the delivery.
This guy Coca-Cola.
What is that? Soda?
No, it's black coffee.
At 10 p.m.
Well, hold on a second. You're drinking black coffee?
It's got sugar in it.
I mean, that's also what I'm having. So.
It has sugar in it.
How do you guys drink black coffee at 10 p.m.?
There's some stupid.
I mean, I'm drinking coffee, but not black coffee right now.
I've had this twice now where I order black and they think that means no cream. Black is straight black.
Is that Starbucks or is
did
that
you
Tim
specify
Hortons?
no sugar?
McCafe.
McDonald's. Interesting.
All right, so clearly there wasn't a lot of news. Do we just want to jump into PayPal?
No, but it's so Tanner, when you're trying to sell life insurance, do you just talk about death a lot? Like, how do you actually frame the conversation?
Well, I mean, a lot of it has to do with debt protection. So it's like for breadwinners, that's the high majority of it. Is like if you talk to someone
about when they pass away, do they want to leave their family with enough to cover the bills or not?
This kind of sounds fun, bro. Literally,
no,
it kind of sounds fun, like the salesmanship process.
No, let's not go down this road.
Dude, sales is a ton of fun.
Sales
is a ton of fun. And
whoa.
What was I going to say? What's also cool is there's a couple really cool products in insurance, like critical illness.
Tanner,
what?
Sorry to interrupt. Can you throw up Ken's comment?
What's Ken's comment?
Okay, I will in 1 second. I'm just going to finish this thing. It's alive and well. Just bear with me, because I'm just on the insurance thing, and then we'll close it. There's a product in insurance called critical illness, where you can bet on the chance that you're going to get like cancer, heart attack, something like this, like a critical illness, but you don't even have to die. That's a very popular product. Anyway, actually, admit if you can find that, or I'll just read it out if you don't have it there.
I don't see. Oh,
from 1037. No, 1037.
I threw it in the private chat as well if we want to share it, Amit. The comment at 1037 says, per Bender 9000, who's a resource on Reddit that breaks news on SoFi all the time, SoFi will be offering the Instacart IPO to members. Instacart is IPOing in the US, really popular company. That's huge, no? Like, this is not an oddity. This is
not huge. This is nothing burger.
Yeah, I think it's a nothing burger.
First of all, anyone who buys this IPO is a fucking idiot. So, so
have you read the financials? I would
yes.
make that statement before you read the financials.
First of all, no, buying an IPO is not a good thing, especially not in this economy. So look at all the people bag holding SoFi. Guess what you did? You bought the fucking IPO. Do not buy the Instacart IPO, even if it's 60% down from its 2021 valuation.
Okay. Can I bring the counter argument? Because I think Tanner's on my side on this one. So we can.
Yeah. Before you give the counter argument, are you legitimately telling me you're going to buy Instacart's IPO?
No,
okay, so there is no counter argument. You're not doing it. So why would you tell me?
I'm not doing it, but it's a huge logo. It's like if Patreon or OnlyFans or SpaceX or Stripe all went public. They're huge. I don't know what the fuck but they're huge logos.
Most people do not know what Instacart is.
Look,
you were wrong.
Regardless, from a business standpoint, it's great that SoFi is offering it and other companies aren't. So it's just one more thing that they're offering their members. Whether you're going to invest in the company doesn't matter. The fact that they're offering it and other people aren't is great. Because if any of these other companies like Stripe go public, good chance they'll be offered on SoFi to its members, and there'll be an allocation.
I'm not saying Instacart's not a good business. A lot of people use it. Buying the IPO, I think, is really stupid.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's not your decision to make.
No, but that's my point. How many people on SoFi are actually going to use SoFi Invest to buy the IPO? How big?
It doesn't matter. The fact that it's there is a plus.
Yeah,
it's cool, but it's not a big deal in my opinion.
The idea being that if it's an exclusive, the same way that it's an exclusive to have 24/7 market access, is that if you do want IPO access to some of those positions, that it's a great opportunity to have.
No, you know why it's not a good thing? Because you have a negative sentiment towards a product when that product makes you lose money. So if you bought the Nerd Wallet IPO because Robinhood offered it to you at $18 a share,
you're just picking bad IPOs.
So Instacart is okay. So this rests on the idea that you think it's a good IPO. I disagree. And the SoFi people that lose money on it will not have a good feeling towards SoFi. And if it's social investing and getting your money right, why does Anthony Noto want people to get their money wrong by investing in a shitty IPO?
But you don't know.
It's just exclusivity, man. Like, it's not...
I mean, hold on. If you've read through the filing, what's their EBITDA, what's their free cash flow, and what's their net income?
I saw that their valuation was slashed by 60%, which is awesome. I think it's 13 billion versus like 40 billion from 2021. That's great. That doesn't mean the IPO is going to be.
Okay. Are they? Yeah, but you can't just tell me the valuation. What's their revenue? What's their gross profit? What's their margins? What's their net income? Backdoor into it.
I don't know, but I don't think that matters in the context of an IPO, or at least
Of course,
an overhyped
It's going to be
IPO.
a publicly traded company. The fundamentals matter. Financials matter.
I mean, if you think in 5% interest rate environment, people are going to start using Instacart more and more and more versus just do their own groceries. I don't know.
Like, do you just say shit to just piss people off? Like,
Yes, he does, because
No, I don't. No.
He wants us
doesn't
to
matter if it's a
engage
shit.
Wait, hold on,
the
Tether. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you: is Instacart a value stock or a growth stock?
I don't care. It's a big logo, and
Wait,
that's
hold on. I don't know why you're getting emotional. Is it a value stock or a growth stock? It's a simple question.
First of all, I'm totally not. I do groceries on Instacart, so I know the logo, and I'm just saying any IPO that's coming out has hype around it. Can we agree?
You still
on
didn't
that?
answer my question. Is it a value stock or growth stock?
Growth stock. I
Okay,
believe
so with 5.25% interest rates, you think that it's going to be really easy for Instacart to just be like, we're just going to keep on growing. And you don't think there's any VCs from Y Combinator that want to dump their fucking shares on retail investors? You think it's just a beautiful little IPO where the real world is that Airbnb, Uber, all this shit was because of Y Combinator. Instacart's just another one.
Okay, let me level set with you. Let me meet you in the middle. Let me say it might be, I don't know, it might drop 80%. Are you happy with that? 80% drop? The point
I wouldn't be happy with that, but
great. Okay, great. It's going to drop 80% once that IPOs. There's going to be hype around it because there has been hype around big names. When Airbnb went public, when Coinbase went public, when Square went public, like all of these companies going public, why do you think they fucking drop 80%? It's because they're overbought in the first place. Is because people are like, oh my God, that's a huge logo. And so I don't care about the fundamentals, nor do I care about Instacart as a company. I'm not going to invest in it. I'm just saying that by SoFi having exclusivity into a big IPO that's coming up, like Instacart, probably ARM and Instacart will be the biggest IPOs of the year. Probably. We haven't had many this year, right? So just by having exclusivity into that, SoFi will benefit. That's
what if SoFi doesn't have exclusivity?
Well, I mean,
who else does it?
If there,
I would imagine Robinhood does.
Doing
I don't know though. I don't know the news.
It'll be a positive. But I looked into Instacart's numbers from what I could find very quickly. What I found is in the prospectus, it says that they did 716 million in revenue last quarter and 114 million net income.
Yes,
they're a real company. Like that's pretty big.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But
the prospectus.
16 billion for that, I don't know if, and with interest rate, like again, from a qualitative perspective, not looking at numbers, I don't know if in these interest rate environments people are going to be super happy to just sign up for interest rates. I mean, for Instacart, because it's a growth stock. It has to grow. It's still going to suffer from all the other problems. Like they have not touched the public markets yet, bro. The public markets are ruthless. They will spit this stock back into the markets at 80% lower value. I don't know if that's a good thing.
That doesn't matter on the macro at this point. Like how overbought or how much it drops or how much it goes up on like IPO day is a direct indication of the macro. Like the sentiment.
Fact that this is something that SoFi is going to have that Schwab may not, or E-Trade may not, or Morgan Stanley may not, is a positive. It's just one more option for SoFi Invest members. That's all that matters. Yep. It's optionality.
SoFi had once offered IPO access to a very small company. Maybe you guys haven't heard of it, called Rivian Automotive, at $78 price target back in November of 2021. That stock then proceeded to run up to $120 per share. SoFi IPO access members got quite happy if they sold then to then run all the way to $20. But still, there are very successful IPOs that at the time were not even like revenue producing companies. Growth stocks can have their time, obviously, and to your counterpoint potentially is that November 2021 was a different time than now. But how do you know that now is not the bottom and that rates can start getting cut and interest rates can start to fall? And this is
hold on. You think ARM that's going to IPO at 60 billion and they're not even growing anymore, that this is the bottom versus the top? That's what you're trying to say?
That's not what he said.
He said, how do you know that Instacart's not a good IPO because this is not the bottom? How could this possibly be the bottom for at least for an IPO?
He's talking about rates.
It doesn't matter, because if rates are not going to get cut till June, which is what 80% of analysts think, then Instacart's going to flop in the next 10 months.
Okay, but so
and people are going to lose money on SoFi Invest with exclusive access. I'm telling you, you guys think it's a troll argument? People will not like that their brokerage gave them an opportunity, because I remember when Robinhood was like, invest in NerdWallet, and they were doing all this confetti. And then I was like, it's a fucking blog. You're offering me shares at $18 in November 2021 for a blog. I kind of lost respect for Robinhood. I was like, why would you advise me? Basically, right? It's basically a recommendation engine putting this in my face to invest in this stock. I don't think it's a good thing for SoFi to do this for average retail investors that are not smart enough to understand this is a pump and dump by Y Combinator.
But you still use the brokerage. You own shares in that company.
Hold on. So 10 or 11 years ago, when Facebook IPO'd, we got an allocation from E-Trade. And a lot of people had no idea what Facebook was going to do or how they were going to make money. And it ended up going down from, I think the allocation was at 31 or 32, and it ended up going down to 18 or 19. And then Facebook went to 380 or 390 over the next decade. So you never know what's going to happen. And in the short term, people got hurt on Facebook, but in the long term, they made out. Nobody knows what these companies are going to do.
Steven, are you making a comparison between the largest social network on the planet and someone giving my groceries?
So admit, 10 years ago, Facebook was not the largest.
It had 1 billion people. Did you watch The Social Network? It had 1 billion people in 2010. Did you not watch bro? Remember Justin Timberlake? Drop the Facebook. Like, what's better than 1 billion? Wait, what was it? What's better than 1 million? 1 billion? Like, you don't remember these lines? Like, how are you comparing Facebook, that was going to be one of the biggest companies in the world, to groceries?
No, trust me, nobody knew that. Nobody knew it was going to be big. When we still have our shares from when it first IPO'd. Like, nobody knew that.
I think Steven's point about no one, like, that is such, like, that's the hardest part about investing, is like stuff like, even whenever Amazon dropped after that 1999 or to 2001 crash, and it was like, oh my God, it would have been so amazing to have bought that stock at $8. You would have been absolutely out of your mind to buy that stock at $8.
No, but hold on. This is the part I'm confused about. Because to make this argument, you have to win that Instacart could be a revolutionary company, which is why this IPO is a good thing.
No, you don't.
I'm saying this
comparing Instacart to Facebook or Amazon.
I'm saying Instacart can have great gains, and you don't know what the market is going to hold, and you don't know what the management is going to hold, and there's zero history behind this company.
Tanner, you think a company that helps you deliver your groceries? First of all, Uber Eats.
You think a company that delivers your books to your door is going to be, you think they're going to offer you everything simultaneously, single day shipping?
Bro, if Uber Eats is doing as much or if not more revenue than fucking the entire Instacart company, I don't know what the number is, but you could argue Uber Eats is pretty big and part of Uber. And you look at Uber's market cap, then you look at Instacart. I mean, this is not, we don't have to be rocket scientists to be like, this is going to be a shitty IPO.
Let me just read you one comment that somebody watching made. June, if you can find it at 10:48, said, SoFi investors are just given more options, which is good. It's not that they're recommending investing in it. People like options. And I think fundamentally that's the bottom line, period.
All that matters.
No, but that's incorrect. That's incorrect. Because let's go Tevis's route. Let's say it's exclusive, right? Tevis, you gave me the 80% argument. I'm going to give you the exclusive argument.
Sure.
What is SoFi going to do? You open the app, which, by the way, I tried it today. It took fucking 3 hours to load the app still.
That's your crappy phone. I saw the comparison.
Not my crappy phone, bro. I'm telling you, it's the app. What are they going to pop up in front of my face when I open up SoFi Invest? We have an exclusive IPO for you to invest in. The next generation technology of grocery delivery.
Let me put it to you this way. Okay.
My point is that average retail investors, like I was back in 2021, will be like, Instacart? That could be the next Facebook. And I'm going to buy that shit. I'm going to lose all my money, and I'm going to say, fuck SoFi.
You don't know they're going to lose all their money.
Hold on. Let me meet you halfway a minute. Okay. You don't like Instacart. You think it's going to zero.
Look at this comment by Kelly. It's only relevant because Uber doesn't serve some places. Literally, that is the company you guys are telling me is going to be the next Facebook, and she uses Instacart.
First of all, Uber also does grocery now, and Instacart is still thriving, so that's fine. But we're not stop conflating it with Instacart, the actual company. What I'm saying is, if there are people, and I mean, it might be a far-fetched theory in your mind that there do exist people out there that will think that this is a good company and actually believe in it. Crazy, I know, but those people will likely want to have that exclusivity because, like Tanner was saying, for an IPO, if it goes IPO at 60, people who have exclusive access can buy it like 60 to 70 to 80. And then the rest of the market buys it when it comes out to like 90 or 100. That's what happened with the Unity. That's what happened with a bunch of other companies back in 2021. Airbnb.
So what's your point?
The point is that the people who are bullish and who are buying Instacart, regardless of where it goes, if it goes to 200, if it goes to $2, they will want to buy it first, and they will have preferential treatment at SoFi, and they'll have that option to buy.
And they will lose all their money when they buy it first.
Freaking matter because
wait, hold on. You guys are saying it doesn't matter for people to lose their money on a shitty IPO? How are you making this argument?
Because I'm going to tell you why. Because I can sign up to Caesars and lose all my money betting on the Yankees tomorrow. You can go to the casino.
Yeah, but the Yankees aren't doing $714 million in revenue in one quarter. Like, they're probably doing a lot more than that, to be honest. My point is, you guys have to answer my fundamental point. The brand equity of SoFi pumping a retail investment heavy IPO and then people losing their money is not good.
After Instacart goes public, will there be people purchasing and will there be people selling the shares? Yes or no?
Of course, it's a market. Of course.
Okay. So if there are people purchasing and people selling shares, that means that there's a market for it, correct?
100%. Yes.
Okay. Now, if
I'm saying the average SoFi retail investors will be the bag holders in that
market for it, that means that there is demand. That means people are free willing, putting their money into it and exiting a position.
There's also bags waiting to be held, like you're at fucking TSA.
Everybody's individual choice as an adult. The fact that there is a market for it and the fact that there is demand for it means that if SoFi has the IPO, that is something that they have that other people don't. And anybody who wants it can purchase the shares through SoFi. Now, whether you like it or I like it or nobody else likes it or they do like it, doesn't matter because it's everybody's personal choice. If I want to buy shares and that's the road to do it pre-going public, I would open up an account and buy it. The same way that if Stripe I thought was going to be a good investment came out on a different platform, I would open an account to buy it there. If I thought that was the right move.
The problem with this argument is you're basically saying, so cigarettes definitely can kill some people. They also can't kill other people.
I'm freaking out Altria. Don't talk about cigarettes.
My point is you're basically saying there's a market for cigarettes. Therefore, the grocery store should pump the cigarettes in front of you so they can make more money. That's fine.
That's fine. They're not saying we recommend you buy it. They're just saying it's an option.
Yeah, but when you put that option as a front page on your app to hundreds of millions of users, or not hundreds, like 6 million members, and I don't know, 10% of them, 600,000, like, oh, Instacart, SoFi. I only know about it because of SoFi.
Did you?
And then I press buy at $20 and it drops to $7.
Amit, did you buy Oddity?
Huh?
Did you buy Oddity?
What?
The other IPO that they were talking about back in June. Did you buy it?
In 2023?
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
Oddity.
SoFi offered an IPO for Oddity. Did you buy it?
I did not.
Do you know what the price is? Is it higher or lower than IPO price?
I have no idea.
Is it at zero?
Tevis, what? If Instacart doesn't go to zero, but it goes from $16 to $2, you think that
you have the SoFi app and you don't even know what he's talking about?
Right. I am one of 6 million members, but the idea that you guys are not allowing yourselves to think there will be some percentage of the population that decides that this Instacart IPO makes sense because SoFi is putting it in front of them. They buy it and then they're bag holding because the VCs are going to dump their freaking shares on the market. I don't get how you guys don't get this. And then the shares will tank.
Hold on.
And that will leave a bad taste in SoFi.
Whether it was SoFi, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Schwab, Ameritrade, choice that they would make regardless.
Yeah, but retail investors aren't using Schwab and JP Morgan. They're using SoFi.
Bullshit.
Put Throwball's comment up there, please. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Hold on.
Hey, hold on. What's SoFi's mantra?
I tell him to get off Robin, and he's like, but I like the confetti.
What's SoFi's mantra? Get your money right. Getting your money right is not gambling on YOLO IPOs.
They give you the freedom to do what you want.
Robinhood's mantra is just keep trading so we get payment for order flow. SoFi is about getting your money. No, I'm honestly, you guys think I'm trolling for the content. I really don't think offering this as an IPO is a good idea because it's going to dump on the market and retail investors will hold the bag. This is Chamath 2.0. This is SoFi's version of being Chamath on the Instacart IPO.
All right, he's trolling.
No, seriously. Chamath dumped SoFi on you guys, right? You guys bought Chamath's shit. I didn't buy his shit. I didn't know about him back then. Now SoFi's acting like Chamath, dumping an exclusive Instacart IPO onto retail investors.
Did Chamath dump or does he still hold 85% of his original position?
Look, I don't blame the guy. All I'm saying is he definitely dumped it on retail. And we know that's the case.
He dumped 15%.
SoFi acting like Chamath by dumping Instacart on retail. If it's exclusive. If it's not exclusive, this argument goes away. But Tevis's point was it's exclusive. If it's exclusive, it's not a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea.
They're a business, right? They make money, and they make money on transactions, just like Robinhood. They're not your fucking mom. They're not
but it's a brand more than a
advisor.
business, Tevis. It's a brand. Like, here's the best point of my argument.
Are you blaming Goldman Sachs for taking, I don't know, like who did Palantir direct listed? Who did
Yeah, but that's irrelevant.
Like, you're not blaming the banks that took them public.
How much shit did SoFi get because they sued the Biden administration over student loans? And we talked on this very podcast 7 months ago. We don't think this is the best thing for the brand. Even though Anthony Noto had a fiduciary duty to sue Biden, we all said, all of us in agreement, we're like, this is a bad look for the brand. Even Chris Hager said, I think this is a bad look for the brand.
Right.
So I don't get how you think that's a bad look for the brand, but dumping a Y Combinator venture capital backed company that's going to drop 30% on retail investors is not a bad look for the brand.
So
you don't know that.
First off, and second off,
so who's buying Instacart?
Hold on,
put it in the chat. Who's buying
company
Instacart?
allowing people to invest in AMC or GameStop or any of these other companies? I mean, that's the stock market.
No one in the chat is buying Instacart. That's how you know it's going to dump on retail.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, if you think it doesn't matter that it dumps on retail and SoFi investors holding the bag, then that's fine. That's great.
Doesn't matter.
I might as well call you Chamath dividend stream.
We've been doing this show for 46 episodes, and this is by far the stupidest take you've had.
I don't think this is a stupid take. All right, let's see what happens when Instacart dumps on retail, and then I don't think it's going to be the best. Josh says
Storm says I'm buying Instacart.
There you go.
Josh is trolling because he buys good companies. I know Josh.
Josh, maybe you should reach out to him to be your financial advisor because he doesn't think it's.
I would tell you to not buy Instacart, and I think I would save you some fucking money not buying Instacart.
Yeah. He'd be telling you buy Palantir all the way down.
Yeah, but Palantir was look. I mean, Instacart. At the end of the day, no one in the chat said they're buying it. Realistically, none of you guys think it's a good business, but all of you are happy SoFi's offering it. And my argument,
didn't read their S1.
I don't think anybody said it's not a good business.
It could be a great business. The point is the IPO will dump. That is
you don't know that.
You don't know that until it happens.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Did you read their S1?
No, I didn't read the S1, but I know it's a VC-backed company, and the VCs are getting rid of their shares they've held for 10 years, and they're getting liquidity. Someone's got to make them whole, and it's not going to be the big banks. It's going to be retail investors.
Yeah, there's also
big banks are definitely not going to lose their money on this stock.
There's also probably a lockup period on that too. Like a lot of the people that are dumping on day one are people that are and you know who's trading? The people who have exclusive access, who can buy it at one price and sell it literally 3 hours later at 2x the price.
Very true. You'd be part of the VCs.
Yeah.
I don't think SoFi investors are going to buy it and sell it in one day. I don't think that's going to happen.
But. Okay.
All right.
Is that the show?
I got Palantir Wrigley. If you guys want to keep going, you can. If there's more stuff to talk about, if not,
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. So you guys keep going. I'm gonna go to Palantir. Okay.
All right.
I know you guys are gonna miss me
for this show.
I know you guys are gonna miss me. I'm leaving
Tanner,
now.
you want to do PayPal?
But I know you guys are gonna miss me.
I don't want to do it on this though.
See you, man.
So send me a link.
Wait, is this still live? Are we just running here right now?
Yeah.
Live.
Do you want to just do a separate link?
Just do a separate link, or you can do it on this, whatever you want to do. I made new charts for you.
Cool. Wait. Okay, so just for everyone listening right now, while I just message Amit to turn this off, that we're going to be doing a PayPal video. I don't know if we should do it live or if we should just pre-record it.
Do it live.
But we have nothing out. Like,
what? Just do it live. What does it matter?
No.
We're recording it?
Well, because how is anyone even going to know that it even exists? There's no the SoFi audience and the PayPal audience are there's overlap, but I mean they're different audiences, and to start a stream now would be like, you know what I mean? There's no one will even know that we're even live.
I mean, there's like 200 people here, so they'll know.
Just do it live.
What do you want to do, Tevis?
All right, we're gonna hop off, and then we're gonna throw out another link live on mine and Tanner's channel, and then we're gonna talk about PayPal for another half an hour. The people that are here right now, in 2 minutes, go get a drink, and then refresh your screen, and then we'll have a new live stream up on mine and Tanner's channel talking about PayPal. We will see you soon. Does that sound good?
Peace.
Email me a
141 people
link.
is no one, Tanner. It is no one. That's a fraction of the 13,000 people that would get a send out whenever I do a live stream.
All right, we'll see you in 2 minutes on mine and Tanner's channel talking about PayPal.
Peace.
Email me a link.
Yes. Okay. Emailed. Yeah.